On March 29th, Beyoncé is set to release her brand new album, Act 2, which appears to be a country album. We have heard recently from Dolly Parton herself that she believes Beyoncé cut her signature song, Jolene, for the record. However, that has not yet been confirmed by Beyoncé, but it seems that the cat is out of the bag and Jolene could appear on this album. We also have Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. Texas Hold'em has now been sent to country radio. So with all of the moving parts that we have seen with the pre-release of this album, it would be indicative that this would be a country record coming from Beyoncé. Now, as we know, this is not her first attempt at country music. Roughly about 7 to 8 years ago at the CMA Awards, Beyoncé performed alongside the Dixie Chicks, where they performed Beyoncé's song titled Daddy Lessons at the time, which was off of her album Lemonade. And after that performance, there was much talk and backlash about her performing at the CMA Awards. There's also a rumor that Alan Jackson walked out of the room that night, which that has not been confirmed by Alan Jackson, but that has been a strong rumor that has floated since that night. And so now as we approach March 29th, when Beyoncé will release Act 2, she has now turned to social media where she has shared that she did not feel welcomed in country music and that it came from an experience that she had years ago, possibly alluding to that CMA Awards performance. She also explains that for this album, she took a deep dive into country music history. But what's interesting, she notes that this is not a country album, this is a Beyoncé album. So now let's get into the social media post here from Beyoncé speaking out about this record. She writes, Act 2, Cowboy Carter, March 29th. Again, that is the release date. Today marks the 10-day countdown until the release of Act 2. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of the supporters of Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. I feel honored to be the first black woman with the #1 single on the Hot Country Songs chart. That would not have happened without the outpouring of support from each and every one of you. My hope is that years from now, the mention of an artist's race as it relates to releasing genres of music will be irrelevant. This album has been over 5 years in the making. It was born out of an experience that I had years ago where I did not feel welcomed, and it was very clear that I wasn't. But because of that experience, I did a deeper dive into the history of country music and studied our rich musical archive. It feels good to see how music can unite so many people around the world while also amplifying the voices of some of the people who have dedicated so much of their lives educating on our musical history. She goes on to say, the criticisms I faced when I first entered this genre forced me to propel past the limitations that were put on me. Act 2 is a result of challenging myself and taking my time to bend and blend genres together to create this body of work. I have a few surprises on the album and have collaborated with some brilliant artists who I deeply respect. Again, I made mention of Dolly Parton talking about Jolene possibly being cut for this record. I don't think we have any other country artist as of right now that we know of that could be involved in this project, but Dolly sure seems to be one of them. She continues on, I hope that you can hear my heart and soul and all the love and passion that I poured into every detail and every sound. I focused on this album as a continuation of Rennaissance. She concludes by saying, I hope this music is an experience creating another journey where you can close your eyes, start from the beginning, and never stop. This ain't a country album. This is a Beyoncé album. This is Act 2, Cowboy Carter, and I am proud to share it with y'all. Since the release of 16 Carriages, Texas Hold'em, and the announcement of this album, there has been a lot of conversation surrounding it. What you'll now see here on your screen, which I'm sure you already have seen, is Maren Morris released a comment to her, responding back saying, drag them queen. Country music is in one of the strongest positions that it has ever been in such a long time. The numbers on it don't lie. We have seen such a astronomical rise in the genre, reaching the masses with so much young talent that has been a part of that catapulting of the genre. Talk surrounding artists outside of country music and coming into country music has been way more than we have really ever seen. Also, you have country artists who are collabing with many artists outside of the genre as well, such as like Nickelback and Brantley Gilbert. They went on tour together. You have Post Malone, who's also doing country stuff. He'll be featured on Hicks Tape. But as far as an album specific to an artist right now, a solo album, Beyoncé is the first to try her hand at that at this time. And on March 29th, it'll be interesting to see that track list, to see who these collaborators are, and who else she may have worked with in country music, if there is any at all. That's your latest update here from CountryCast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you never miss out on any breaking updates surrounding your favorite country music artist and all the news coming right out of Nashville.